Yes, over here, sir. خلاص كده ولا ايه؟
خلاص.
Okay. All right. So hello everybody. Hi. Well, so in brief, actually, I'm going to give you just an idea about the papyrus plant, and then we'll see how the paper was made exactly the way the ancient Egyptians did. So actually, way before thinking of making, oh yeah, of course. Way before thinking of making the paper, this plant was considered as a holy plant, and that's because of three things. First of all, the papyrus plant was the flag of the north of Egypt. You know, Egypt was completely two different kingdoms. The papyrus was the flag of the north. The lotus flower was the flag of the south. The second reason it's the flower, which should be much bigger than this. It looks a bit like the sun rays. That's the symbol of Amun-Ra, the god of sun in the ancient time. The main thing in this plant, not in any other, it's the stem. The papyrus plant is the only plant you can tell which has this entire triangular stem, which is exactly like one face of the pyramid. The pyramid was the symbol of eternity in ancient days. That's why the ancient Egyptians used to worship the plant way before thinking of making the paper at all. Have you been to the pyramid? Or still there, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So to make the paper, first thing we do is just we decide the size we need. The plant, usually it's not that tiny. The plant is quite big, over 5 to 6 meters high. It needs two things to grow. Very hot weather, we got that. Lots of water in the same time. So we just decide just a little small one, like this here, for example. Then we remove the outer green skin. This greenish part is quite strong and it's very flexible at the same time. The ancient Egyptians didn't waste it. Actually, they used it for making things like robes, hats, baskets, sandals, and so on. This is the main part we use for making the paper. We just divide it into slices, just like this. The slices, in a way, it's so spongy and so fragile, as you see, just because the slices contain lots of water, sugar, and also fibers inside. To make the slices flexible, we have to get rid of the fibers by using this rolling pin, just like this. You know, Egyptian wife uses the rolling pin for something else, totally different. You know what? So now you see, it's much flexible and stronger than before. Then we soak the slices in the water for 2 days to reduce the sugar. We have to change the water every day. In 2 days, the color changes from white into yellowish, just like this. If we left the slices longer, like 10, 15 days in the water, it gets those dark brownish ones. The dark paper, it's the same quality, but it takes long time to make the paper, hard time to paint on it, just because the brownish paper absorbs more colors than the yellowish one. After the time in the water, we arrange the slices in horizontal and vertical positions between 2 pieces of carpet or 2 pieces of cotton. The ancient Egyptians didn't use these materials we use now, so they used what? What do you think? Hide, like?
Animal hide.
Wow, that's good. Yeah, they used animal hide. Wow, that's good. You been here before, sir? So, the slices, it has to be horizontal and vertical, whether you weave them or you put them just like that. But it has to be always horizontal and vertical. That's what makes the paper strong enough. And so on, till we complete the whole sheet. Then we squeeze it all under this press for 6 days. The ancient Egyptians, of course, they didn't use the same thing. They used just heavy rocks or heavy stones. No machines until this moment, probably. So during the 6 days under the press, everything will stick together. Naturally, that's because of the cellulose inside the fibers. That acts like a natural glue. No chemical materials at all. Then we get a piece of paper exactly like this. You see the paper is quite strong. It's very flexible and very smooth as well. Against the light, you can see easily the horizontal and vertical arrangement. It has to be this way. That's what makes the paper strong enough. This paper accepts any type of colors, no matter what. You can use oil colors, watercolor, ink, acrylic, whatever. It's okay. Last many years, and this is the main thing. The only paper could last this number of years under all conditions, didn't fade, was the papyrus paper. Actually, we all think about the paper. The ancient Egyptians used it to write and paint on it. Actually, it's not only this. The first use for that paper was to wrap the mummies with, until they figured out they can use it instead of carving. The ancient Egyptians, all they used to do was carving in walls, stones, and rocks. So the paper, actually the first use was wrapping mummies until they figured out they can use it instead of carving. So the paper became the biggest industry they ever made. Imagine it yourself, like if you do a letter, carve a letter, I mean, how much time and how much energy, how much, and so on. And if it's a big letter, how many people are going to carry this letter and give it to the person you want? It's a lot. So this is about the paper. Have you been to the Egyptian Museum or not yet? Not yet. Cool. So in brief, I'm going to give you just an idea about each of those famous stories in all the Egyptian history. Just a brief idea because it takes a long time to explain just one. This is the story number one in all the Egyptian history. This is one of the basic things or basic messages the ancient Egyptians left for the generations to come, which is the Judgment Day. The ancient Egyptians left it as a message to remind the generations to come that everyone after this life will be judged. What's going to happen in this day? This is just how the ancient Egyptians imagined this. The original one of this message, it's the one we have until now in the British Museum in London. Painted on the same paper, by the way. This piece of paper is 3,200 years ago. It's still perfect the way it is. The story starts from here, where you see first the deceased giving the offerings to 14 jurors. They ask him what he has done during his life. They ask him around 120 questions about his lifetime. Nobody helps anymore, no lawyers, no nothing. He's kneeling down, lifting his hands. He swears, trying hard to convince the jurors that he was an innocent person, but he doesn't need to convince the whole jurors, no. All they needed from him, just 50 plus ones. This is what we do in elections nowadays. Here you see only 7 of them are raising the sign of life, the key of life. Those 7, they voted for him, believed he's good. He's innocent, so he deserves to be in heaven. But the other 7, they think differently, like they think he lies, they are not convinced, they think he did a lot of trouble during his life, so they voted against him. Now we got 7 against 7. This is just 50-50. 50-50 in here, it means nothing. They cannot take any decision. You got to reach to the majority. If it's not, it doesn't work. So what's going to happen? To make sure they send him down here. That's his right. He could reach to the half of them. But here, he cannot talk. He cannot prove nothing anymore. They would have to check his heart out. That's the reason the ancient Egyptians used to mummify the bodies. They used to take all the organs out, but they used to leave just the heart inside the body for this day. They believed everything you do during this life, it's going to be recorded in the heart. Good, bad, whatever. What makes the heart heavy in the day of the judgment? It's the bad deeds, if we did more bad. So, Anubis, the god of mummification and medicine, is leading him to the balance of justice to check his heart out. That's his heart. Again, is the feather of justice and truth. If his heart was heavier than the feather, that says he was bad, lying to the jurors. So big, or Am, the god of punishment in the ancient days, will punish him by eating the heart. Eating his heart, it's symbolic. It means this person is done. Okay. No heaven, no afterlife, no nothing. He will disappear. If the feather is heavier and here it's a little bit heavier, that says he was perfect. The feather, usually, it's a little bit heavier if he's good. It can't be that heavy, not because it's a feather. It's because nobody ever does good all the time, of course. So the feather is a little bit heavier, he was perfect. If it's even in here, where he actually can do nothing about it, he's good enough. That's different. So he passes with Horus. Horus was the god of protection, sky, and sun. From Horus came the word we use now, horoscope, by the way. He's here introducing him to his father, Osiris. Osiris is the god of the afterlife. He's the judge of that court, watching everything going on. 2 ladies behind him, they support him. His wife Isis, the goddess of love, justice, fertility, peace, and motherhood. Her sister Nephthys, the goddess of magic and childhood. They are all welcoming him to the heaven. Here you see God Thoth or Thoth, the god of knowledge, writing, and wisdom. He is here doing the same job we do nowadays, record. He's recording everything. Sorry. So this is number one. Number two is the Egyptian calendar.